Hello, everyone. Please be sure to mute yourself if you're not muted. This is Joanne Nistico, Shaklee Master Coordinator, and this is our Thursday night coffee tea hour. And we're going to talk about skilling up. The Thursday night grouping that we'll be hosting is about business development and business growth. So I welcome all of you. I'm very excited because I believe, to me, the business is one of the best products that we have available. So with that said, let me share this. I love this picture, and I remember, I'm sure we all remember where we were when this happened, when the man first walked on the moon, and take a giant step into a more abundant possibility. Open your mind to the possibilities. And right now, we're in a new day and a new opportunity where we as a nation are in heightened awareness for the value which Shaklee represents for over 60 years. So we're so well positioned. I'm working in collaboration with Presidential Master Coordinator Carolyn Whiteman and a number of the Gen Team leaders to provide a service to you, your customers, leaders, and builders, which we will share with you this evening. There's a quote that I really love that, to me, it epitomizes the Thursday nights and what I want to accomplish. And the quote comes from Kobe Bryant. And he had what's called the Mamba mentality. And many of us know how successful he was and how powerful he was. But he was all about focusing on the process, in one of his quotes, and trusting in the hard work when it matters most. So we're going to be sharing with you the process that we know has made and helped build successful, profitable Shaklee businesses. But the process isn't the only thing that makes a successful business. It's the work that we put into it. So with that said, we'll continue to work hard, but also enjoy what the possibilities are for each of us. So why isn't this changing? Okay. Speaking of possibilities and opportunity, we certainly want to thank each and every one of you for these incredible statistics that Shaklee shared with the Master Coordinators. In March, sales were up 40%. Sponsoring is up 92%. On the Master Call the other day, Jeff Pearson said that distributor sponsoring is up 272%. Business leader count is up 5%. Rank advancement up 32%. People in qualification for the 20K in 2020, 178. And a total pending bonus for the 20K is currently, in the first 3 months, $282,000. It's quite remarkable what we have available to us. So I encourage each of you to take a look at it and think about it a little bit for yourself. The Shaklee Stimulus Plan is what's available. Lauren, who's my new assistant that's coming on board with us, we registered her as a new distributor today. She joined for the $25, but she also joined as a Prove It, the PIC program, the Immunity PIC program. So she's going to get started on the process. And what's going to be fun about working with Lauren as an assistant is I'm going to be able to take her through the process that we're teaching today and that we'll be using throughout the year and beyond. But what you can also do when you sponsor someone as a distributor with the PIC program, the Prove It Challenge program, it's $25 daily pay with this Immunity Challenge Pack. So for example, Shaklee will pay me $25. They paid me $25 to register Lauren with the PIC Immunity Challenge Pack. So for people who are looking for immediate income and they want to start sponsoring someone who is also looking for improving their financial situation right now, they would get $25 just quite right when they register someone. And then there's this stimulus package that Shaklee's offering which there's $1,000 in guaranteed income for any new distributor who joins this way. Plus, for someone who's a sales leader that gets someone to earn that $1,000, there's a 50% check match. And of course, Shaklee's offering the $20K in 2020 to anyone who's a distributor who moves through the process and the ranks that are a part of the whole program for income advancement. I'm not going to go into too much detail about numbers. I think, talk to the person who brought you if you want to know more, if you're looking for that extra cash for yourself, or you're a sales leader and really want to find out what all the numbers are. Shaklee's done a great job on their website that has explanation on how you exactly earn it and gives you all the information, but you should know the big picture. What we really want to make sure is that you understand that those things are available to each and every one of you. So Pam, share a little bit about the big picture, the possibilities of what can happen with a new person like Lauren or any one of us on this call.
Sure. So this slide is kind of fun, and it just is a great illustration of the power of duplication and the power of building a team of people who have their own goals and their own vision. And this happens to be a slide shot of Bob Ferguson's April 1st, his back office, statement on April 1st, one day. You can see that he had a personal PV order of 100 PV, and his group, his consumer group, the people who use and consume products within his family tree, did $454 worth of product. But then the next circle is where it gets very interesting. That's the organizational volume. That means that all the people who've decided that they too want to build an independent business, work with Shaklee, build a team, all this volume is representative of these people. So in the first day of April, his organizational volume was over $22,000. So that's something to really hold in your mind's eye, the power of building a team. You're not alone. That's why we're here on Thursday nights, to help you fulfill a bigger vision for yourself and for bringing people in who see Shaklee as a vehicle to move forward, to fill a gap, to create a side income, to replace some income that's lost. It's just a wonderful time for us to get very, very skill up, as Joanne said, on sharing this concept. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam. Susie, would you just share this slide, please?
I will. And it's so important to be representing a company with a conscience. This was literally the first original wellness company. And just to give you a teeny bit of background, Dr. Shaklee was a very sick little kid. He was not supposed to live really past childhood. And his mother started him with this whole philosophy of living from nature. They moved to a farm. He was fed a diet, this is back in the early 1900s. It was strictly on a farm from plants and herbs, and he loved nature. And that's where this whole philosophy grew from, this strong foundation that Shaklee has from his love of nature. It's really important to be with a company that is solid, as you can see now with what's happening in the world. You want to be with a company that's going to stick. And we have had a solid history since 1956. And then to have somebody, I think about 15 years ago, take over Shaklee and run Shaklee, Roger Barnett, who has the same vision, just passed along what Dr. Shaklee believed in with a vision for our future, and now truly understands that this is so needed. This is what people want now, and this is what people are looking for. And he is a true humanitarian. One of the things that I did not know about Roger Barnett is that he's on the board of directors of this Elie Wiesel Foundation, and I looked this up today. And it's a humanitarian nonprofit, all about people and diversity and helping other people. And that's what Shaklee is all about. So if you go to the next slide, Joanne, it's
Yep.
all about new people. As I was saying, my month was so good, not because of me, but because of relationship building, because of people on my team and the people that they know. And as John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather earn 1% from 100 people's effort than 100% of my own. I love working with other people. That's a solid foundation. So, and as was just stated, sales are up 40%. Distributors are up 272%. What does that say? That says that, as you can see where it says number 3, business, faster growth, the big picture, looking at helping other people. Look at how many people are grabbing onto this company and joining us right now. And going back 1 to 2, health, we have to have health before we do anything. But if we're just telling you about people about the products, we're not giving them the big picture. You've got to have money to buy the products. Money gives you freedom to be able to give it away. So everybody needs financial stability. And we can see it very clearly with what's going on right now with COVID-19, where work just stops like this, but not with us. With us, it's huge growth. So that is the big picture. So I hope you all truly embrace this and talk to the person who brought you on here. And you'll hear more about how to do this.
Thanks, Susie. And you know, it's really important that you all know these 2 slides because you've seen them before. The reason we repeat it, there's a saying, repetition is the mother of skill. So this is designed for new people to understand certainly our heritage and our history. That's very critical for anyone to process through who we are and what they stand for and how they duplicate. Because we want to be able to duplicate ourselves. The only way that you get into business and faster growth with the big picture is by duplicating yourself. And that's why it's very important to keep a simple and duplicatable process as you work your system with the people that you bring in. So as I was saying with Lauren, I'm going to be working this simple and duplicatable process that and if she decides to go forward and build something, that she just has to duplicate herself by following the model that I'll be teaching her. So with that brings us into the PWN Partners. PWN Partners, Carolyn Whiteman came to me probably, I think it was about a month and a half ago, and said, here's something that I'm doing. I don't know if you're interested in it, but I want to share it with you and show you. And when I saw it, I went, thank you so much. This answers a prayer, because it's almost impossible to keep up with the material that goes into the corporate side of what Shaklee Corporation is offering us. So Carolyn put together a process. And for history's sake, when Carolyn and I, a number of years ago, when I was making my run for master, and Carolyn was as well, we created a program called Coordinator Achievement Course. And we were with Linda Causey, the master coordinator. We created this program that we traveled all over the country and taught thousands of Shaklee people how to build a coordinator. Well, this is now the 2020 version of that program, but it's all done digitally, which is outstanding. So it's called Partnership with Nature. This is one of 4 elements that will be created that will be available to you. It is a private Facebook group. We'll talk to you about how you get involved in it and how we'll show you it in a minute. So for each of you that are on the Gen team, and that we're only doing this teaching for the Gen team, Carolyn's going to take this material and go and share it with the rest of her group. But right now we're really the Gen team is really the pilot group that is being shown the first processing of going forward with this to help you be successful. And who is this site for? Well, it's for new people. It's for new people that you have. Lauren is new, so it's perfect for her. I can guide her through it. I'll help her get educated on who we are, what we stand for, all about our products, etc., in this one simple site. And remember, it's private, so you have to be invited to it. The second group of people that it's available to are for people who would enjoy a refresher. So for example, Nancy, you've been with us for a number of years. You're retaking a look probably. You want to get caught up on maybe some of the material that's available. You would go into this site, join it to get a refresher on all you probably already know about Shaklee, but just helps to freshen up your 2020 view of Shaklee. And the third group are people who want to move from member to active distributor, because after that, there's going to be called a Career with a Conscience partners. And those are for serious-minded business people that will have specific business training. So we're going to have a whole system to take a person through a process from zero to hero. And it's really exciting. I just love it. So it's a new day. Actually, what I think we're going to do, Carolyn, now is let me have you share. We'll go into the Facebook group of Partnership with Nature so we can talk through that.
Sure. Do you want to you want to do it on your own screen though, right?
Yeah, let me make sure I can get there. All right. Hold on while I get there. All right.
And while you do that, Joanne, do you want me to just give a little more kind of
Yeah,
overview?
would you
Yeah,
please?
you concentrate on that.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you all for, this is a wonderful team effort. I'm really honored to be able to connect with this whole great Gen team. We're all part of the same family. And so here's what has been a struggle for me. And that is, how do we teach the decades worth of experience that we have to a brand new person, and do it something that a new person can do that they don't have to have our experience. And so a key to that is, when someone becomes a part of our business, what we want to be able to do is send them to something where they can do some self-study, they can do some self-learning and some self-orientation. We don't have to do this. It's funny, I was working with another team leader who was going, oh, I just don't know if I have the time to go through this with somebody. And I said, that's the point, is you don't have to. All you do is you get to point someone here, and they can go through this on their own speed, in their own speed, on their own time. And we don't have to be the teachers, we can be the guide. And so that has been the purpose of this. So this is, first of all, our welcome member orientation. And as you said, Joanne, this could be someone who may have been a member or whatever title for years. This is just get reoriented. This is a 2020 reorientation. Everyone should go through this, because there are things that we can't remember. We can't find out where some of these things are. So, so Joanne, do you want to go through the beginning of it?
Why don't you go through it, Carolyn? I'll scroll down a little bit. You want to talk about this?
Sure. So here's the way this is set up. This is set up so that a brand new person can come through this. It will take them the core materials. It might take them 45 minutes, but they don't have to do it all at once. And so here's the point. This is divided into units. The first 4 units are simply where a new person goes. So at the very beginning is the value of your Shaklee membership. And it talks about the loyalty rewards, a little bit about how the business works, a little bit of overview. If you want to click on that 6 more posts so that they can see what the titles are at the very beginning, just down.
You want me to click on that?
Yeah, just click on so they can see what the topics are at the beginning. So it's really orientation, explaining the loyalty rewards, which are new. And unless someone is really engaged in them over the past handful of really weeks or months, they don't know how these work. So, and you can scroll down a little bit about how the business works. A short overview of Shaklee and the history of innovation. with Dr. Shackley. It's a 3-minute video. And then the next segments down below that, some of the treasures in your Shackley membership, the things that you actually get. I like to say that if someone got a membership to Costco or Sam's Club or something like that, you happen to have walked in the store and you bought the membership and you did what you did and then you walked out, but you really don't know what are the other values of your membership. You don't know how anything works. You did something once, but you don't know the rest of the benefits. So these are some of the additional benefits that you get to enjoy. And then the next section after this addresses Amazon. Why would people, well, can I go buy my stuff from Amazon? This is a very impactful video that Roger goes through talking about when you get Shackley products, you get them directly from the temperature controlled warehouses and you know exactly what you're getting. You can scroll down a little bit more. Some other, just some comparisons about Amazon. The Shackley difference, a letter from Dr. Jamie McManus, the MD that works with Shackley, the Shackley difference. And then a checklist, which products do you use right now? And that you can look at, well, what things am I using that I might switch over to Shackley? And then some really super helpful tips about going through the product guide online, which are things that, I went through this and I didn't know this stuff. So why would anybody else know it? So that's the first section, and it's really just kind of an orientation. At the end of that, then you go down to the bottom and it goes to next. Okay, so next is the next unit. And you can go through this first section really quite briefly. So the next unit goes through some very brief overviews of each of the different introductions to the different parts of the product line. So for example, there's a video that's 1 minute and 10 seconds. Here's a video that's 2 minutes. Here's something about the heart of Shackley's nutrition, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Here's an introduction to the Prove It Challenge that's less than a minute. An introduction to the weight loss program so that people know the range of products. A little bit more on the weight loss program. An introduction to the youth, to the skincare line. It's only a 2-minute video. An introduction to personal care. 6 minutes, it goes through all the various personal care products. Specialty for the kids, just a minute video. Immune support, a little overview on protecting our immune system under these circumstances. How to create a non-toxic home, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Cost comparisons of the Shackley cleaning products. An introduction to the Olympians, that's just 2 minutes. Unique, something about the product treasures, some different product things that we don't always look at. And then a very quick introduction to one of the most valuable products, which we call the gig economy. It's like, what would you do if you were looking to perhaps be introduced to some earning possibilities? So, okay, so this is the completion of that unit that has the materials in it. And then if you go down to the next unit, down to the bottom where it says next unit, this hopefully helps to answer a few of the how-to questions, some of the privileges, the difference between being a preferred member, how do you redeem your loyalty rewards, which you learned a little bit about before, some possible next steps. So, for example, in Lauren's case, you think you might want to be a distributor. So it leads you over to the distributor side. And then some reminders to ask your mentor leader to make sure that you've got the right links. And then the next unit is the last one. And this is a congratulations, you've completed the basic member orientation. So now what? So our objective as leaders is to invite someone to go through this and to then reconnect with your business leader. And there are two purposes there. One of them is we'd really like to know what they heard, what they got, what questions may have come up. Thanks for being a part of the Shackley mission. And then as we close that, we want them to reconnect with us because we'd like to talk about, are there product questions that they have? We have a gift for them, a small gift for going through it, if they're going through as a member. And then we want to know, we want to be able to support them in how do they best want to take steps forward? Do they want to do do they want to start in any of the product combinations? Do they want to set up an auto ship? How do they best connect with their loyalty rewards? So this is the basic 4 units. But then if you go down, Joanne, to the next unit and show this, then what you'll see is there are several units more now that go into more details. And these give you a chance to go through at a little bit greater extent, some more about the nutritional products. There's a section that goes more into the cleaning products. There's a section that goes a little bit more into each of the different product lines. So if you want more information, you can do that. Your basic orientation is really quite modest, and it's an investment of your time for just a few minutes. And then, as we said, as your business leader, we'll give you a reward for that and give you a selection of some products that you might have as a gift, and some more resources. This is the healthy herbal medicine cabinet. Just some treasures of things that we think people would like to know, the value of the products, things that you want to be able to keep on hand all the time. So, Joanne, does that give kind of an overview of that
that's
part?
great, Carolyn. That's exactly what we wanted for right now, because I think the important thing is as we go forward, we have a new day, we have a new offer, we have new people, and just a little housekeeping, so to speak. So as a Gen Team leader, you're invited to join by me. If you haven't gotten an invite, you've got to ask me. So for example, Susie's a member, and so Susie can invite Nancy and any of her people, but it goes through an approval process. So the first step will be for every sales leader that I've invited, the requirement is to go through units 1 through 4 to become familiar with what is available and to see what's there, so that you walk by example, you teach by example, you walk your talk. Those are so many important things, because it's like do as I say but not as I do kind of philosophy. You really want to be sure that you walk that talk. Mary Beth Patricus, she has been inviting quite a number of people, and she went through units 1 through 4. I have others who want to invite people, and they're going through 1 through 4. So that we really want you to do that. So then you're allowed to invite new people who want a refresher, or new people or people who want a refresher, or those who would want to become distributor. And we said today, everyone, what a great education of the value and the gift and the gold of what Shaklee has to offer, that people, one thing that you can do also when someone gets invited and they join the private group is that you can tag one of the articles if they aren't going through it, but that they have an interest, let's say in the youth products. You can tag that article that's in the Facebook group, and it will go to them, and they could just view that one particular video if that's what it is. What I love about this is when I try to go to Shaklee Corporate and I look in their tools section and I try to find something that I want to send someone to, I can never figure it out. I hate to say it, but I just look at it and I said, there's too much. I can't deal with this. But with this, the way that was so streamlined, it's easy for me to get the material to the people that I want to get the material to. Plus, I can invite them to be a part of my Shaklee family, part of my Shaklee person in this Partnership with Nature Partners group. They will need to answer, when you invite them, there's 3 simple questions. I was supposed to put the questions here and I forgot. So what I can do is get those questions to anyone who's interested.
I can tell you what they are, Joanne. They're real simple if you want.
Okay, please
We
do.
simply ask the person who invited them. So for example, Susie Sunkel has Nancy. So Nancy says, well, Susie Sunkel invited me to come. And then it says, who is your business leader? In that case, it would be Susie Sunkel. Or, maybe if you're working directly with Joanne, just to kind of know what the heritage and the lineage is. Because if you're going to get a gift, You got to be connected with the people that will give you the gift. And then the last question is just how long have you been a Shaklee member? Because this is assuming that you become a Shaklee member. Some people are brand new. Like, for example, Lauren has been a Shaklee member for, maybe a week. Or
Nope,
maybe
really.
it's
Try about 5 hours.
okay, 5 hours. Welcome, Lauren. And then for some people, we may have been Shaklee members for 20 years. The point is, we're just getting refreshed. It's just like going through kind of a revised program. And incidentally, Lauren, one of the first things, I'm sure that Joanne has said this or would say this, is although you have chosen to be a distributor, which is beyond a preferred member, your first job will be to come back and go through the member orientation, because all of this will be relevant for you in terms of what anyone new would come in as a customer consumer, and also just for you to have that basic information. So when we go into the distributor training site, this is the first thing we do, is send people back here and say, if you haven't finished this, then this is where you get to start.
Most definitely. To me, partnership with Nature Partners is the first step for everybody, no matter where we are and who we are. For me, going through it, a lot of that stuff I haven't found, and I love to watch it and see it, and it's only 2 minutes, so it'll keep my attention. I don't know about you, but I have a short attention span sometimes. So it really can be done very quickly, and it isn't so laborious that you have to sit there for a long period of time. And when we have an invitee complete units 1 through 4, there's a possible free gift upon completion at the discretion of the sales leader that they're a part of. So here's what we have is, and I want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. We're all sitting here right now, and as we said, it's a new day. It's a new explosion of opportunity for those of us involved with Shaklee. Who do you know? I don't know if any of you have heard about a memory jogger, but everyone knows at least 100 people. So who do you know that, without qualifying them, without saying, oh, they wouldn't be interested, or they don't, they think I'm going to be just trying to sell them something, or any negative thinking that you might have, we're going to throw out that window, throw out that door, and say, I'm going to just stream of consciousness names of people, all new people, and just don't censor yourself. And this is true for you, Lauren. I'll be talking to you tomorrow, and we'll talk further about it. But just write, all of you on the call, think of, write down 3 to 5 names right now that come to the top of your mind. I know I have 3 to 5 that I want to do. I'll just write my horse people. There's at least 5 there that I need to approach. Then the refresher, who for many of us who have a large organization, I had, a couple of thousand names in my database. And so I can look at that list, or even if you have 5 names in your refresher list, go through those 5 names and say, let me get back to them and say, I really wanted to get back to you because I don't think that I've done what my job is supposed to be, which is to really give you the best information possible on your membership with Shaklee. I happen to have been introduced to a wonderful new program that is very simple and easy, and might even be able to give you a free gift for just taking a look and reviewing it, so you can refresh some of your people. And then, of course, think of those that might be needing or wanting to move to an income stream during this difficult time, when we're being so blessed, where our checks are increasing and other people's checks have gone away or diminished. So write some names down in those categories for yourself. I don't know about you, but the excitement level is beyond my ability to sleep sometimes right now. So why a process and right now? So Carolyn, I'm going to turn this next slide over to you. Why would they even want to do a process or think about really being active and going forward. Carolyn? Did I lose you?
Nope, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm working from my deck outside, and sometimes the street traffic, there was a emergency vehicle that came by, so I muted, so it wouldn't make a difference. What if I read you, just give you kind of a big picture overview while the slide is on. So let's do a little dreaming. What if within the next 8 months, with coached and mentored focus, you developed a team, and together you produce value that's earning like $30,000 a year or more of ongoing income, and qualify for up to $20,000 extra in additional one-time cash bonuses. And then throw in a car payment, a paid trip to the corporate offices in San Francisco, a paid family trip to Costa Rica next spring to celebrate. And the effectiveness of this model expands exponentially with everyone else on the team focused on attaining the same results. And the gift is that all of the rewards are directly tied to improving the health and the lifestyle and the livelihoods of everybody involved. So together we become the role models for new possibilities. So if this is intriguing or inspiring, then come back and ask some questions and prepare to collaborate with challenge and inspiration and contribution, with results you can proudly continue to expand without limits. And as we do this, we can contribute to being part of the solutions to these just extraordinary global issues that are going on, and not just a part of the problem. And that's really the gift that we have, is to be able to do that. So that's kind of what this slide represents. It's a bunch of numbers, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's just a little window into what's possible. And one of the keys to it is we cannot possibly become an expert in everything ourselves. So our objective is to be able to introduce people to something that they also can copy and do and read and learn for themselves. And one of the keys to it, I think, Joanne, you mentioned, is we are so fortunate excuse me, that we partner with this wonderful corporation that has produced these magnificent products, that has this magnificent heritage of so many world-class things that they represented. And I really believe that a part of what's going on with the sort of the Shaklee energy right now is people are desperately looking for something they can trust. And I believe that that is the heritage that Shaklee has been able to create all this time up to now. And so what if we can be someone who makes this possible for other people? But in order to do that, we have to be able to have something that we can't possibly become the experts all at once. And so although we have this wonderful partnership with the company, the invitation that Joanne is making, that we are making, is that you can kind of make a choice. If you go to the corporate website, which has got enormous amounts of information, honestly, it would be like me going into a library of something where I was going into a PhD class and I had to figure out how to sort all this stuff out. So everything that's there is so much value. But what Joanne and the leadership team here is offering you is an opportunity to be mentored, hold your hand, take you through step by step by step of the things that hopefully will simplify the pathway so that you can get the information you want. You're welcome to go and take on the whole library of resources, but honestly, like Joanne says, we'll drown. Frankly, I would drown. I could not find my way through all of those wonderful things. So your invitation is stick with your mentor, whoever invited you, stick with the team, and we'll do the best we can to guide you through so that we can all be effective and be powerful.
And
So,
Carolyn, you
Joanne?
know, I think what's so true is when we look at the kind of organizations that we have developed over the years, it has been through the mentorship of Mary Loomis and us working together. And, you know, there's some people that don't have that, and they have to go to the corporation to look at and get the support because they don't have the leadership up above. In our organization, we're very fortunate that we have the OPA, which is Organic Products Associates. And for Lauren, who is brand new, organic products, there's a family tree and when you join Shaklee, and you're in our family tree. But it started with a woman named Mary Loomis, and I'll get more information to you. And she founded the Organic Products Associates way back when, and I'll share her story with you. But her organization is in the top 10 earning organizations of all of Shaklee, of which we're a part of. There's also, you have 3 upline master coordinators, my being one, Carolyn being the other, and Rob Loomis being the other. There's very few people who get into the Shaklee leadership, distributorship that have 3 upline master coordinators as mentors. So you're in good hands with the mentoring that we have available. And that's worth so much for us to have you and for you to have us. There are steps to the moving in Shaklee, and that I'll be teaching you. You know, we all start as usually as a retail customer. You become a member, you become a distributor, you advance. So there's a rank advancement. And what I loved about it was there's an instant way to earn cash, which I needed when I first started. There's also the ability to move up. There's no glass ceiling. And there's an ability to duplicate yourself, which I came from a restaurant family background. As you know, my family owned an Italian restaurant. I remember going to my dad to wanting to start my business because my person who involved me said, where are you going to get your $5,000 from? Because at that time we had to have an inventory. You don't have to have an inventory today. So it's so much easier. At that time, I needed an inventory and I got cases coming into my house. But the thing that's so important about that is that we have a digital business today. We have what people are looking for. We're in our homes. Some of the people in our downline earned, produced and sold over 11,000 per month. Our organization sold well over 100,000 plus, almost a couple $100,000 a month. And that's all done digitally. So we're in such an incredible business model. So when I went to my dad and said I was in business and I'm so excited, I said, Dad, you know, I can multiply myself all over the country. I don't have to invest in them. I just have to teach and train them and help them. And I said, how can you do that with the restaurant? He couldn't duplicate himself. He said, well, what are the perishables in your business? I said, I don't have any perishables. So he said, well, it sounds like a good business to me. Go for it. And that's what I did. And I hope each and every one of you, and you, Lauren, with me, we can go forward and do some great things together. With that said, the Lunch and Learn Wellness series is every Wednesday. It's expanding our outreach to you and to everyone you know. It's helping to help empower people to make sense of the changes and choices in the products that they may be using in their home, building the immune system, having a healthy, clean home, putting only non-toxic products on our skin. So those are the things that are going to be happening on our Lunch and Learn. And next week's Lunch and Learn actually falls on Earth Day. So we will, and you know, Dr. Shaklee started this company being in harmony with nature and good health. So we have such a great story to share with all the new people you want to invite and introduce to that Wednesday Lunch and Learn. So with that said, Scott, I'm going to call this meeting, and then we're going to open it up if anybody wants to stay on and chat.